morning and welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening's Sunday morning service. Whoever you are and wherever you're from, we're glad you're here. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Can you feel the love of all who've gathered round? You are worthy of this gift of love right now. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Now who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we knew, now you know. Yes, we knew, now you know. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Yes, welcome and open your heart to receive the love that we have for you. We have a very special and wonderful service, as always, planned for you this morning. Now, the song that I was trying to play earlier in my head, I want to sing that one for you. It's an arrangement by Karen Drucker. It's just reminding us to be in that state of gratitude. So much to tell you. I'm thinking of all the things I want to share with you, but I'll do that after this song. Why don't you turn to someone in the comments and say good morning? And maybe even tell us what you're grateful for this morning. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Healing, this healing, this healing day. Sing along with me. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, my radiant health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant health. My radiant health. Let's claim some opulent wealth. How about that? Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you. Let's start our day with gratitude, shall we? Yes. All right. So we have, I have a few announcements I want to share with you. I was about to get ahead of myself a minute ago, but let me just look at my notes here, make sure I remember everything. First of all, thank you to our founding board members who got together and presented last week's service. If you missed it, go back and listen to it, watch it. It was wonderful. Make sure you watch all the way to the end to see the bloopers. That was quite cute. But it was wonderful to see Tony and Caroline and Sally and Amanda and Lisa, our founding board members, put together the service for us. And it was wonderful. And so I just want to say thank you to them for that. We've had quite a few losses occur in the last year and a half since COVID began. And one of those was our dear Reverend Claire Middleton, and she passed back in February. And we were able to have a meditation online, but we were not able to get together and have a celebration of life in person. We are now going to do that. And that's going to be October 8th. And it will be at Magnolia Woods, where we used to meet. So it will be October the 8th at Magnolia Woods. Make sure you're getting the newsletter or check out the events on Facebook or our website to make sure you're in the loop of things. If you have any questions about anything going on, you can always reach out to us, info@awakeningcarolina.org. But anyway, Reverend Claire, we will be celebrating her beautiful life on October the 8th. And then her daughter has also put together a gala in her honor, benefiting one or more, I can't remember, of the charities that she supported. And that will be uptown Charlotte the following night on October 9th. So you can dress up and show up if that's something that strikes your fancy. So we would look forward to celebrating Reverend Claire October the 8th and October the 9th. Our next in-person service will be, we have two in October, and that is the 10th and the 24th at the Charlotte Art League, which is 4100 Raleigh Street. Currently, 4100 Raleigh Street. They are about to move right around the corner into a brand new, it's an old warehouse, but a brand new incarnation of this old warehouse. They are developing that area and putting in townhomes and all that where the trucks and the industrial part used to be. And they're turning one of those buildings into a beautiful space that's going to have a theater, the Charlotte Art League, and possibly the Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening in one of those sections as well. We are in discussion with them right now, so stay tuned on that, and maybe even go and take a look around the corner at it when you come to the next in-person service, either the 10th or the 24th or both of October. Let's see, there's something else I want to share with you. In the service today, I'm sharing some folks that I am very grateful for. And that would be my dear friends, Lisa Ferrero and Etika Luckett. Lisa and Etika came together and formed such a dynamic duo of music. Etika passed away in 2018, and I've asked Lisa if I could share some of their music today in service because it was so fitting with what I want to talk about. But I'm bringing that up to say that some other folks that I'm very, very grateful for in my life would be Sheikhs Kabir and Sheikha Camille Haminsky, and they are part of the Threshold Society, the Sufi order that I'm part of, the Mevlevi Sufi order, and also Lisa and Etika were part of that as well. Anyway, they are getting together today, Lisa and Kabir and Camille, for an online experience, and I just wanted to offer that, to share that with you. If you if today's talk resonates with you and you're not able to be with us in person for our lunch, which is happening this afternoon at Eastside Local at around 12:30, and then a concert with me and my band that's going to go on after that. But if you're not able to be with us there in person, maybe you're tuning in from some of the other states, our folks over in Oregon or up in Canada or over in Texas or Florida, all the other places that you tune in from, we so appreciate you. So maybe that's something else that you want to tune into today at 2 o'clock. And so I just wanted to let you know, we'll put the information up on the screen in just a little bit, the information again about when to tune into that. Okay, that's it for right now. But next thing we have up is our dear Linda Buckle, one of our members, sharing a reading today.
Hello, CCSA family. Today I've chosen to read a condensed version of what the journalist Maria Shriver wrote last week in the Sunday paper, following a month-long vacation and break from her column. I thought it was really inspiring, and I hope you do too. She writes, "There is a lot going on in our world at large, and that's probably true in your personal life as well. As for me, I find myself feeling a whole range of emotions about our country and about life right now. But I'm in a good place overall. I'm in a place of self-compassion, self-love, and self-acceptance. This is all despite my deep concern about our country's deep division, which I have a real desire to help heal. I return to this column after my August break with gratitude. I return feeling like I'm standing at the door of a new beginning. When I entered my August break this year, I had clear goals. I enrolled in a process designed for people who are serious about change. I went alone without devices to do some serious transformative work. I did a deep excavation, and the result was a sense of freedom I have never felt before. A sense of relief and a feeling of deep pride in myself. In my time left here on earth, I want to be kinder to myself and to others. I want to go slower and be more present, rest when needed, and focus on being a light in the world. I want to stay in my light and do my best to light the way forward for others. I aspire to be an open-hearted and open-minded writer-journalist that can both inform and inspire. I want to be smarter and more intentional about the way I work and the way I live. So moving forward, I'm going to try to give myself some freedom. My hope is also to create more space in my life. I want to make more room for creativity and my endless curiosity. I want to create space for joy, love, spontaneity, and all kinds of new potential partnerships and opportunities. I want to be open to it all. In this month of September, my wish for you is the same as it is for me, to feel safe, seen, supported, and loved beyond your wildest imagination. To have work and/or a cause that brings you meaning, purpose, and joy. To be open and not afraid of what's to come, even if you have no idea what's to come. Our world is desperately in need of people who are lights and who have the courage and strength to heal themselves and others. It needs people who use their voices to raise others up, not tear them down. We owe this to those who lost their lives fighting for our country. We owe this to those risking their lives right now in hospitals and fighting fires and floods. I believe that we owe it to our fellow citizens to be brave enough to be the lights that ignite a new way forward and that speak a more inclusive, compassionate language. It's so time. It's so needed. Let's be the lights our country needs. We are strong enough, brave enough, and courageous enough. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my Open wide my heart. 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 Open wide. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. My
So let's just breathe into that together. Let's just breathe into being right here, right now. Taking the time to fill our cup. Taking the time to feel the indwelling presence taking the time for self-care and self-love. Breathe into that with me. I recognize the mighty moving force, power that is God. God by many names. I recognize it moving fully present through me and through each of us right here and right now. I open my mind and my heart to recognize that and to commit to shining that light of love in the world, to let my life speak by letting my light shine and my love flow. I say yes to that. And so I open wide my heart. Open wide my heart, beloved. I trust and I know that this indwelling presence lives and moves and expresses, has its expression by means of me, means of you. It moves through all of us. And so I allow it. So let's breathe together. Deep breaths, deep centering breaths, anchoring the willingness to start with self-care and self-love. Let's start with the willingness to love ourselves right where we are, to be gentle with ourselves, and to open and allow the magnificence of the divine to show up and show off and shine through as each of us. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So 3 deep breaths together to anchor this willingness and this openness. Once more, let it out audibly. We love doing that together so we can make sure our neighbor's awake after meditation. So, I was feeling like I wanted to talk about being filled up with the presence. Being so filled up that it spilled over. And yet, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, uh-oh. I'm not feeling it. I don't know how to, what's going on here? And I realized I was depleted and I had to fill my own cup. I had to take time and solitude. I pulled a spirit card the first day of my solitude and it said, solitude is what you need right now. I was like, thank you. We're on the same page. So I took my time in solitude this week and it started to fill my cup. I did some things that were good for me, relaxing, good, nourishing things. And I still wanted to feel that intimate connection with the divine. And I wasn't feeling it for a day or so there. And I was like, what's going on? Where are you at, God? And so I thought, well, I'll do what I know to do. And you're going to think I'm going to say pray and meditate. I did that too. But what I also know to do is to go to those that inspire me and those that I have known over the years, decades of filling my cup, that help me come back to the center and that intimate relationship with the divine. And so I looked up Reverend David Leonard, one of my teachers, and I found some talks. I was looking for, his most recent talk, and I ended up like back in 2019. Somehow I found a talk and I was just down that rabbit hole. It was one of those days, which are most days when he gives a talk, and he was just on it. He was on a roll. And I was like, yeah. Fill me up. It was great. And from there I went to Rumi, and from Rumi I went to my friends Lisa and Etika, and to Sheikh Kabir and Sheikh Camille. And oh yeah. And next thing you know, I'm feeling it. But I want to share a little bit. So I had to tell you all that this talk is brought to you in part by David, Camille, Kabir, Lisa, Etika. So I want to share a little bit that David shared in his talk from 2019. He was talking about Dr. Ernest Holmes when he wrote The Science of Mind. And he was talking about how when he wrote later in his later years, he said something contrasting to what he had said earlier. So in The Science of Mind, there was a quote that I'd heard many times. And the quote is, you move out of the relative to the degree that you move into the absolute. So out of the relative, that means out of the conditions, out of the form, out of the pain body, the circumstances, and into the divine, into the absolute. So the quote again from the Science of Mind textbook by Dr. Ernest Holmes is that you move out of the relative to the degree that you move into the absolute. And I remember reading that as a young student and as a beginning minister and thinking, right. When you have trouble and you're stuck in the pain body, as Eckhart Tolle talks about, you just got to turn to God. You got to lean into the divine. You got to move into your prayer and your meditation. And all that is true. But when I heard David share something in his talk, it took it to a whole new level. And that was, or it gave words to a whole new level that I'd already experienced. And that was this. He said, after he wrote that in his early years, later, when he was in his 70s and he wrote a book called Love and Law, he said, you know what? I was wrong. Dr. Ernest Holmes, he said, I was wrong. You don't move out of the relative to the degree you move into the absolute. The relative is the absolute at the level of the relative. Now, hold on. Don't go, what? I know that was a lot of tongue twisting there, but I'll say it again and then I'll put it in plain terms, right? So you don't move out of the relative to the degree you move into the absolute. The relative is the absolute at the level of the relative. In other words, right in the middle of your story, right in the middle of your pain, right in the middle of your circumstances, the conditions of life, right in the middle of your human experience, there's divinity. I didn't have to go seeking my intimate connection with God. It was seeking me. I didn't have to, we never have to, when we're having a difficult time, leave that for a minute to go find God somewhere, to go find love, to go find life, to go find divine intelligence. It is always there. It is in all things, moving through all things, always, and in all ways. And so we can't escape it. We can't escape the absolute, right? It's not about moving away from the relative, but rather stop, recognize, be. Recognize. We either recognize or miss the divinity in every moment based on our attachment level to that pain or to that story or to that condition or how we think something should be, how we think something should not be. A beautiful teacher named Ajashanti, he said, the first part of awakening is that the seeker goes away. Wait, what? I thought we were supposed to be spiritual seekers. He said, the first part of awakening is that the seeker goes away. That's what's meant by the middle way in Buddhism, right? There's always going to be the stuff over here that you really want and the stuff over here you really don't. But the middle path, that middle way is about stopping the grasping and the pushing and just be. Stop the grasping and the pushing and just be. The grasping can be even more dangerous than the pushing sometimes because we think when I get that next credential or take that next class or I go on that next retreat, and I'm all about the retreats. I lead retreats. So of course I want you to take those times for yourself when you need to. But if you think that you have to have that to be whole, then you're missing the point. That's the beauty of the middle way. You don't have to grasp for something or push away from something to be in that presence. It's about being in that presence. The death of the seeker, this is the way David said it. He said, the death of the seeker is the realization that there is something that is seeking us. We're being sought out by the divine. There's something that's seeking us. Something that's seeking us. Dr. Ernest Holmes said there's a power for good in the universe and you can use it. But I remember Dr. Ken Gordon many times saying, there's power for good in the universe and you can use it and it can use me. It's seeking an outlet to the degree that we allow that divine intelligence and that divine love to shine through us. It's about trusting the process and trusting the unfolding of life and trusting that right in that middle path and everywhere is the divine. So if you think about life just unfolding, that the divine intelligence is seeking an outlet through us, that what we seek is seeking us. You may have heard that. What you seek is seeking you, is seeking an outlet through you. So I started thinking, okay, where has that been true in my own life? And I remember being in, right out of college, I started singing full time and I loved it. And I sang and paid the rent and paid the bills with singing in bars and having a great time. And then I started writing songs about humanity and about consciousness and about love and about connection to one another. And the bars were like, yeah, no, we're going to need could you do some more of those cover songs that you do? So I thought, time out. I'm just going to take a break. And I took a break for a year or two while I tried to figure out what was happening. Where's my music taking me? Because I wanted to continue to do what I was on the path I was on, but I didn't know there was anyone out there that wanted to hear what I was singing about. Luckily there was. But anyway, so I took this break and I went into marketing and into corporate America. Basically, it was a third-party marketing arm for insurance. But I did it as a part-time, as a temp, really. Did it as a temp, and I was answering phones and doing data entry and clerk stuff, whatever. And it was a good little quick job to pay the bills while I figured out what I was doing. But then after a couple of months, I thought, I'm not sure I'm going to stay in corporate America long, but if I do, for whatever time, I at least want to be giving my gifts, right? And sharing my talents, because I had a marketing degree, business degree focused on marketing. And so, and I was thinking that, and that became my intention to allow that to move through me. I didn't understand intention back then. I didn't know the word intention, I don't think, but I didn't in the way that I know it now. But I was in that space of, I'm ready to share my gifts. And y'all, I'm not kidding. I'm sitting there answering phones, and the boss walks in, and you rarely saw the boss in my little area. He would walk through once or twice a day and say hello to people, but I didn't even know him. And he walked up to the desk where I was, and I just hung up the phone, sent someone to a call. And, and he says, not to me, just to the room, "What does it take to find a person with a marketing degree in this town?" And I was like, "Hi, Christy Snow, nice to meet you. I have a marketing degree." And he just looked at me and he goes, "Then why are you answering my phones? Come back here, let's have a talk." And they paid to put me through, get my license for health insurance, and hired me to be a marketing rep for this company. And I loved it. I had a great time while I was there. I really enjoyed it. And so that was my first example that I thought of when you're really being in that place of intention. What you're seeking is seeking you. You just got to be still long enough for it to come to you and come through you. Another example, I was thinking, I just want to have a deeper intimacy with the divine. I want to be the best minister that I can be. So I'm going to go to this minister's retreat, and I'm going to learn how to run a church the best way. And instead of learning about portfolio boards and budgets and things like that, here was this beautiful Sheikh Kabir reading Rumi poetry. My intention was to be in that deeper, intimate relationship with the divine, but I thought I was going to get there through rules and plans, and instead, the divine had another idea, and it was Kabir. Pardon me. And then fast forward a year or two later, I just wanted my intention. And again, when I say intention, it wasn't like I said, "I, Christy Snow, claim this intention for my life." No, I was feeling it. I was thinking it, feeling it. It was my expression. It's how I was a being in the world. It was my vibration, right? It's what I wanted. Even if I didn't say it in so many words, it was what I wanted. And at that point, fast forward after meeting Kabir, what I wanted was to share this Sufi journey that I had been so enriched by. And so here I was at Unity Village with Kabir, with David, and with my dear friends Lisa and Etika, who had not yet met Kabir. I couldn't wait to introduce them. It wasn't 5 minutes upon introducing them that they were singing and playing what Kabir was saying. He was basically quoting Rumi, and then Lisa would sing it and Etika would play it, and then they would harmonize. And I was like, what is happening right now? The divine was seeking them, was seeking me to be part of that facilitation, to be there when they collided. It was amazing and beautiful. And it started a wonderful, wonderful journey for all of them and for all of us that got to be part of that. Excuse me, because it gave birth to such beautiful music that takes you into the center of being, like what is being shared today. There's another song coming up that they wrote about wide blue sky. Excuse me. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't you. That's a quote from Rumi. It came out of that merging, which came out of a desire to share the Sufi journey. So David and I invited Kabir to this event at Unity Village, which Lisa and Etika were at. Do you see what I'm saying? It's called trusting the process. You don't have to know how all of it's going to come together. You can't. The finite mind cannot understand the infinite, cannot comprehend the totality of the infinite. But we can live in faith and trust. In faith and trust that when we stop moving from urgency and we start moving from an urging of spirit and we allow life to flow, then we can see the absolute in the relative. We can be that vessel that spirit moves through. Fast forward some years after that last story. Fast forward to having a deep desire to live and love and grow in spiritual community and colliding with like minds. And the Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening was born. Fast forward. Well, actually, no. Rewind. Rewind. Me personally wanting so deeply, having the vibrational alignment finally that said, I am worthy of a harmonious, nurturing, loving, mutually respectful relationship. And I fell in love with, and married the love of my life, Angie Celeste Snow. This is how life wants to move through us. But we get so busy. We get so caught up in the out there, in the conditions, in the pain body, in the story, in the she said, and he did, and can you believe, and I will never forgive, right? We get so caught up in all of that we forget to just stop, relax, rest, fill up our cup, love our journey, love ourselves, be in that space of becoming. We are ever and ever and ever becoming and blossoming and blossoming. I don't know if you saw the meme that I posted on Facebook this week, but it was a Mark Nepo quote that said, "For the flower, it is fully open at each state of its blossoming." The absolute is right there in the relative. The blossoming is perfect at each step of the unfolding. But we have to lose the critical nature. We have to lose the blaming. We have to lose the fear and step into the faith and the oneness and the allowing. Now, this doesn't mean this whole trusting the process and that what you're seeking is seeking you. It doesn't mean, okay, I'm just going to sit back here, put my feet up on the couch, and what I'm seeking is seeking me, so I don't need to do anything. That is not exactly or at all what I'm saying. It's not that we are doing nothing. It's a big thing that we're doing, and that is to realize the absolute inside the relative. That is to look for it, to be the open vessel for it, to recognize our blossoming, even when we feel like we've fallen short, even when we feel like we want to criticize ourselves, even when we feel like we're not worthy, even when we feel like we're a failure, to stop and be in our body, in our spirit, in the moment. So I want you to do that right now. Just stop. Take a breath. I'm literally meaning right now. Let's take a breath. Pause with me. Rest. Relax. Be. Who and how I am in this moment is perfect. My life is unfolding exactly as it should be. Say that with me. Who and how I am in this moment is perfect. My life is unfolding exactly as it should be. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't so. Open. Open wide my heart. Open your mind. Open your heart. Open with a willingness to let your light shine, your love flow, and your love lead to a life that does the talking for you. As the Quakers say, let your life speak. And so how do you do that? Let's think of some things that help us do that. One, my wife does this so beautifully. I learn and follow her example often. Cultivate your joy. Make joy a priority. Cultivate Your Joy. She calls me up from Tybee the other day. She went down to help with her friend Jay, and they're working on the Tybee Art Emporium becoming a reality on Tybee Island, and it's just so awesome. And so she said, well, I have this meeting with City Council there and the Planning Committee here, and I said, well, what's Tuesday? She goes, I don't know. I said, sounds like a day for cultivating joy, and she goes, oh, you get me. So her plan was to go to the beach. Well, tropical storm had another plan, blew through, but it blew through. Some people would have awakened on Tuesday, seen the rain, seen the weather, and been like, oh, why can't I catch a break? This was the only day I had to be at the beach. And instead, she was like, oh, well, I'm just going to be in joy right here. And she found something else to do to bring her joy. And the next thing you know, the clouds parted, the rain was gone, the sun came out, and she was on the beach by herself, cultivating her joy. So do you make joy a priority for yourself? Sometimes when I am up here at the cabin at the foothills of the Blue Ridge, I go up to Stone Mountain all by myself, and I get in that water and I thank that mountain. I thank God for showing up as those mountains that hold me like a friend. Cultivate your joy. What is it that brings you joy, and are you doing that? Are you not just doing it? I don't mean check, I did something joyful this week, this month, this year. I'm talking about prioritizing joy. That's our first step to staying open. You're the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't you. So prioritizing joy. Next, fill your cup. Thank you, Linda, for that amazing reading. Fill your cup. Just like me last week with solitude. I sometimes can get, even though I know better, sometimes I can get wound up as the spiritual director and pastor of a community in doing my best to be there and be all things to all people. And I can't do that. And it's really hard sometimes to turn my phone off when there's so much going on in our world right now. And there's so much going on in our community. When people are experiencing deaths of loved ones and stress of sickness and job losses and all these different things going on. But what I know is that I'm no good to my spiritual community if I am not having an intimate relationship with the divine, and that takes times of solitude and rest. So I did that, and I do that on a regular basis. And if I need an extra day like I did last week, I take it. Because there's nothing more important than my joy and my peace, because that allows my love to flow. That allows the divine to move through me unencumbered. Number 3 on your list of to-dos to how to stay open like the wide blue sky and not pretend it isn't you. And that is, excuse me, and that is to stalk your discomfort. Sometimes I say lean into discomfort. I'm going to up it a little bit. I want you to seek it out. I want you to stalk your discomfort. I want you to look for those places, whether it's a catch in your knee or a relationship that keeps coming back around to a bumpy spot. Whatever it is, I want you to stalk that discomfort and say, what is the divine giving me here to grow my soul? What is the divine giving me here to grow my soul? Because I'm seeing the absolute and the relative. I'm choosing to, as Rumi said, search the darkness. Sit with your friends. Don't go back to sleep. Don't sink like a fish to the bottom of the sea. Life's water flows from darkness. Search the darkness. Don't run from it. Search the darkness. Don't run from it. I love the other Rumi quote that says, seek the antidote in the venom, right? So lean into, but not just that, find those places of discomfort. Stalk them. Find out what is in there to grow your soul, instead of trying to push it down, push it down, push it down, push, grasp. No. Stop, rest, be, breathe. Allow the middle road, the middle path, the middle way to take you forward. Let's do that again. Breathe, rest, be. Say that with me. It's okay to breathe, to rest, to be. Even when it's scary, especially when it's scary. My dear friend Etika that I've told you about, And I've spoken about her many times because she was such an inspiration, and she still is. I don't remember if it was a year or two before she made her transition. She had been through this long battle with cancer, and she had a port for the chemo. And I think it was because of the port. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was because of the port, and they had some trouble getting it out. And they told her that it could actually cause a blood clot that could kill her. And they told her what to look for, listen for, feel for, to know if that was something that might be happening. And she had an experience that felt like how they described a blood clot breaking free would feel in her chest. And she told Lisa, and they went to the hospital, and the doctor said, well, if it did, there's nothing we can do. Nothing else we can do. They did something, and then there's nothing else we can do. Now we just wait. Now we wait to see if you're going to die. Now we wait. And they put him in a room. So what did they do? These two beautiful, shining examples of the divine. They sat knee to knee, heart to heart, head to head, face to face. They prayed, they meditated, and they loved, which is how they lived their life. Being held by the absolute at the level of the relative. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't you. Let your light shine, let your love flow, let your life speak. And lastly, from today's Science of Mind magazine, there's a quote in there from Luke 12:48 that says, to whom much is given, much is required. We are called to be a living embodiment of our spiritual magnificence and to live it out loud, unapologetically, and free. What does that look like? To unleash the full expansiveness of our God selves into our lives. To let the divine seek us and to seek it in turn. You are the wide blue sky. Breathe into that. Let your light shine. Let your love flow. Let your life speak.
There's a time when distinctions between categories fade, and what matters is whether music stirs the deepest part of our being. Each artist possesses remarkable skills, and together a synergy emerges that moves beyond the sum of two voices in one guitar. Call it sonic nourishment, or new music for a new millennium. It is simply extraordinary music for extraordinary times. These individuals have been together since 2007, and Lisa was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Erica was born in Mexico, raised in Venezuela, Brazil. They have been together since 2007, and they are with us today at Agape. Thank you guys for being here. Beautiful.
I'm going to share a song inspired by the poetry of Rumi, where he reminds us that we are the wide blue sky, and if you desire the self, get out of the self.
If you desire the self, get out of the self. Leave the shallow stream behind. If you desire the self, get out of the self. Flow into the river deep and wide. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't true. We can see it in your eyes. the stars above you. If you desire the sound, get out of the sound. Leave the shallow stream behind. If you desire the sound, get out of the sound. Flow into the river deep and wide. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't true. We can see it in your eyes. Turn with the stars. Turn with the stars above you.
Lisa Ferrero, Erica Luckett, our musical inspiration for today. Outstanding. Powerful couple. Powerful couple.
Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. All right, so just breathing into the energy of gratitude, grateful for this spiritual community, grateful again for my teachers and for the music that inspires me so much and for the ability to share that with you this morning. Thank you, Lisa, for allowing me to share your and Etika's music. So all the things you're grateful for, let's just bring them into our heart space right now and let's breathe in the energy of gratitude. And as we give back to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, realize that you're giving back to the universe for all that's been given to you. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe into this moment. And I say, thank you, God, for the good in my life. Thank you, God, for the love in my life. Thank you, God, for the breath of this life. I breathe in to gratitude. in this energy of gratitude as I speak this word this morning. Grateful for the very breath that I breathe, for all the love that surrounds me, for the truth that I am a living expression of the one, that we each are, that absolute present in the relative. And so I speak this word, claiming for each of us a wide open to life experience, knowing I am the wide blue sky and so are you. Don't pretend it isn't true. So I claim for each of us an awareness of this truth and a willingness to live from that space of openness, that space of recognizing the divine in all things, in all beings, in all situations. So I say thank you, God, for Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. Thank you for this opportunity to just remind ourselves of this truth. I am so grateful for this community. I'm so grateful to live in awake awareness of the divine presence. Thank you. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe into this moment. And I say, thank you, God, for the good in my life. Thank you, God, for the breath of this life. Thank you, God, for the love in my life. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe in to thank you. Thank you. So join us if you would for our closing song, and just let the love that we have for you wash over you. And stay tuned till the very end. I have asked Jose to play for us one more Lisa and Etika song, one of my favorites that Etika wrote called Kindness. So stay tuned for that right after this closing song. We live the love wash over us. We live, we let it be. We let the joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Let's claim the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love, we let our love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Join us if you are in town and able to do so at Eastside Local in just a few minutes for lunch, followed by a Christy Snow Band concert outside. Looking very forward to it. And if you're tuning in from somewhere further away, tune in to Lisa and Kabir and Camille today at 2 and fill your cup a little bit more. Have a great day.
the preciousness of all things. I believe in tomorrow, despite the troubles we face, because I believe. I believe in the human race. Oh, 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 hey, 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 oh, oh.
Tell me what you gonna do for me.
I will be K-I-N-D.
Tell me what you gonna do for me.
I'll
Show you kindness. Say what I'm gonna do for you. I will be K-I-N-D too. Tell you what I'm gonna do for you. Show you kindness. Some say that the world is divided into weak and strong. There's good and bad and right and wrong. Don't trust the ones who sit on fences. They're either with us or against us.
Well, I'm a child of many worlds, and if I had to choose just one, I'd say my home is a planet that circles around the sun. It's like a ship, and we're on it for a ride. At the end of the night, we're all on the same side. Maybe different in the ways we think, but if we don't hang together, the ship is gonna sink. So I believe in kindness. I believe in simple things. I believe in the preciousness of all beings. I believe in tomorrow, despite the troubles we faced, because I believe in the human race. Oh, yeah. Kindness, 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 kindness. Learn to measure how we buy, how hard we push, how hard we shove. When our greatest strength is our capacity to love. Kindness, I believe in kindness, kindness. Oh, I believe in kindness, kindness. Oh, I believe in kindness, kindness, kindness,
Thank you.